In 2018, New Jersey was officially declared a sanctuary state.
This is one of the most controversial policies in our country right now. So what does that mean for Hudson County, New Jersey?
Get ready, guys, because this is going to be a topic not for the faint of heart.
Sanctuary state.
Many people might not know exactly what this means, as it's often considered a misnomer. A sanctuary state, also known as a safe state, is one that chooses to limit its cooperation with federal immigration enforcement agents in order to protect low-priority immigrants from deportation, while still turning over those who have committed serious crimes.
So let's start there. How many of you actually knew that? What this all means is that local law enforcement, say North Bergen Police Department for example, have a set of rules and restrictions that they're set to abide by. And some of these restrictions include, number one, they can't arrest or detain someone on the sole suspicion of immigration status and cannot ask anyone for their status. After all, this isn't Nazi Germany, right?
Your papers, please.
Number two, they can't participate in civil immigration enforcement operations conducted by ICE. Number three, they cannot allow ICE access to state or local law enforcement resources, including equipment, office space, database, or property, unless those resources are readily available to the public.
So even though Hudson County is within a safe state, it's important to note that we still reportedly have a $35 million contract with ICE. In fact, we're not the only county in New Jersey banking from this program. Bergen and Essex counties also have ICE contracts, with Essex reining in around $47.5 million a year. The state profits around $120 per person per day to stay in facilities such as the Kearney Detention and Rehabilitation Center. There are 22,000 ICE detainees in camps all around the United States. New Jersey has 1,800, the second largest amount in the country, of which 800 are in Hudson County alone.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby. These contracts are nothing new, by the way. And just so you know, if you go online and you try to find out how much the contracts are actually worth, some say 22 million, some say 27 million, some say 35 million, and that's part of the problem. New Jersey has been profiting from the detainment of immigrants for several decades now.
Yep.
We used to make a ton of money through mass incarceration of criminal suspects, but now the money from the federal government has started to decrease once New Jersey changed its policy to release individuals back to their homes until their scheduled court dates. So these jails now, many times are private, need a new source of revenue. Cha-ching, cha-ching, illegal immigration, baby.
Exactly, Roger. There is money to be made. Of that $47.5 million that Essex County pulls in yearly, for example, less than half of that goes to the staff, recruitment, and the basic functioning of the facilities. So that other 50% plus goes into their county coffers. And who knows what they do with that? You know, I think it's also important to mention one more important detail in regards to New Jersey's relationship with immigration law enforcement: the 287G program.
Ah, yes, that infamous ICE program. Oh, I remember so much hearing about this back in 2018. Hudson County was under fire for not providing the public with meaningful dialogue about all these agreements, especially at a time when our president has decided to wage war against immigrants as a central theme of his administration. Even though this agreement existed under President Obama, it was now being used as a political weapon on the vulnerable part of our society. Naturally, New Jersey, being historically progressive and with a large immigrant population, political leaders needed to revisit whether this was in our public's best interest.
What is this 287G program and why is it so bad? What's all the fuss? Well, this agreement allows state and local agencies, like our local police, to be designated to act as limited immigration enforcement agents. They are to receive appropriate training and function under the supervision of ICE officers.
Steph, and unfortunately, ICE has agents that have repeatedly violated the human rights of immigrants, including alleged sexual and physical assaults to them, and it's reported that they have also been infiltrated by white nationalists. So maybe you can see now why this isn't just a black or white issue anymore. No pun intended. Listen, New Jersey has a white supremacy problem, folks. Did you know that New Jersey white supremacy terrorism threat is so high, it's going to be bigger than ISIS or Al-Qaeda? In fact, we just released our annual terrorism threat assessment report, and we had to raise our threat level to high.
Roger, this makes me think of another major problem we're having. Not just in New Jersey, guys, but all around the country. People having extreme views on local police. Having programs like the 287G furthers the one thing local law enforcement is working hard to overcome: fear of the police. This is detrimental to the whole point of law enforcement, and it furthers us from the safety we should feel with our local police. And what happens, Roger, is that rape, assault, theft, homicide, and other serious offenses don't get reported because people are afraid of the police and their involvement with immigration enforcement.
Fortunately, the politicos in Hudson County woke up and they saw the writing on the wall. Our problems are so vast here that we don't need another thorn in our foot. As of 2018, thanks to heavy pressure from local immigrant rights groups and despite support from some in our county, New Jersey counties have fully pulled out of the 287G program. That's not to say that we're still not enforcing immigration laws.
But there's still the issue of where do we keep all of these immigrants that are picked up by local enforcement or ICE? Well, since their information gets put into a federal data system, as any inmate would, their lack of papers pops right up. ICE then finds out anyway, and then they're kept in these county jails with a daily rate until further processing of their criminal and immigration charges.
Ultimately, again, this is about the money. Hudson County freeholder Anthony Veneri has said, if the county administration find ways to come up with other revenue to offset so that there's no other tax increase, I'll be in favor of it. He's talking about that $35 million we mentioned earlier. Steph, I said that the public needs to know what's happening with the other half of the money that isn't directly used to run the prison facilities. Transparency is so important.